Last year, I did a video on my best purchases of 2020. And this year, I want to do something similar, only I'm sharing all of my best purchases and worst purchases of 2021. Hey everybody, welcome back. And if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Danielle, and I chat all about holistic and clutter-free spaces. If that's something you're into, be sure to click subscribe and turn on those notifications. I release new videos every Tuesday. I think that it can be really helpful if we kind of share things that were worth the investment and things that didn't work out so well with each other. So of course, at the end, I'd love to hear in the comments some of your best and worst purchases, and we can all just help each other to fill our homes with better quality things. If you see anything that you're interested in, whether it's on the good list or the bad list, I will have all of the links down in the description, so feel free to check anything out. But first, I'd like to thank Kinder Beauty for sponsoring this video. Every product that you find inside of a Kinder box is going to be high quality, but it's also going to be vegan, it's going to be cruelty-free, and it's going to be ethically sourced. And I do love working with brands who are doing some good in the world. All right, it's always like Christmas when I get these. They give you a little card of what's inside. It's got a visual, and then it's got a breakdown of the description as well as the usual price of the items. So let's see what we've got here. So this is Estate Just a Taste blendable long-lasting eyeshadow quads. I'm definitely a neutral kind of gal, so this is going to work really well for me. Panga bamboo toothbrush. You know, I'm trying to work on some eco-friendly stuff around here, so this is very cool. Look at that. Made of biodegradable bamboo and BPA-free nylon bristles. All right, looks like we have an eyeliner. So this says 100% pure liner and blackest, made with jojoba oil, chamomile butter, and mango seed oil. Inkling Scents Pulse, bringing notes of mandarin, pink peony, and sandalwood. Oh, that really smells nice. I'm actually really particular about perfumes. I'm gonna use this one. And I love that it's got no carrier oils. It's all fully natural. And it looks like the last thing we have is Goji Glow Cream. Black goji berries deliver amino acids to your skin, while vanilla and lavender provide a luscious scent. This box that I'm sharing with you today is actually their January box. This isn't the first box that you receive. The first one you receive is going to be their faves box, which I will link back to in a separate video. I also really like the options that come with the Kinder Beauty Box system. So for $23, you can get up to $165 worth of brands to try, and you don't have to have an ongoing subscription if you don't want. If you do use the 3 to 6 month subscription, you also get a bonus box that's worth $83 of extra stuff. All of their products are handpicked by the co-owners Danielle Monet and Ivana Lynch, and a portion of all of their sales goes to environmental and social causes. You can use the link down in the description and the code MIA50 in order to get 50% off of your first Kinder Beauty order. Now, for the most part, these are in no particular order, but the first thing that comes to my mind is definitely my duvet cover. It's 100% flax linen. It's by Ivello. I think I'm saying that correctly. We tried a couple of different brands. You know, I keep hearing about the eco-friendliness and the longevity of linen, and it's such a good high quality fabric. Some of the other brands that we tried felt kind of like sandpaper. I just was under the impression that I just didn't like linen. It's awesome. Much softer than the other brands that I tried. Number 2 is my neutral boho art prints that I've added to my bedroom. Some of you may have noticed when the background changed from where I used to film, it was just kind of blank back there with I think one plant off to the side, and I felt like it needed a little bit more. I did have to go buy a few frames for them, but the prints themselves were like $8.99, so totally affordable. I ended up buying 3 different microphones, trying to find the best fit. I started off on the lower end with the Rode Videomic Pro, which is like a small compact microphone that fits on top of the camera. That didn't work out well for me because it was a little bit too echoey, and I felt like I needed something that was going to be closer. So I moved up to the Rode Videomic Pro, which was great, except that you had to manually turn the microphone on and off, and it turns out that I'm terrible at remembering to turn it off. I can't tell you how many times I had to re-record entire videos because my battery was dead or died in the middle because I forgot to turn it off. We went ahead and moved up to the Rode Videomic Pro Plus, which I love, and that is what I use today. I am a big teeth clencher. I clench all day and all night. It's a big problem, actually. So these are called Plackers Grind No More. They come in these little separate packages, which I'm not crazy about because I wish that they had a more eco-friendly method. It just looks like this, essentially. essentially, and it just goes to the back of my teeth. Little thing, but it is something that has worked well for me and has made a big difference. Something else that I've mentioned in many other videos is my blender. This is a Ninja blender, and it came with a separate little individual, actually I think it came with 2 of these extra individual cups, which we use just as much as we use the big blender. This has been great for making smoothies. We love this thing. It literally gets used every single day in this household. Definitely have to give a shout out to Ninja. This is an amazing piece of equipment. When you're videoing like I am, it is so much easier to have a little remote control that can pause and focus. It's really disheartening when I record an entire video and then realize that half of the time I'm out of focus. It was a valuable purchase that I made in 2021. Another thing that I definitely repurchased in 2021 is only like $8 was my Rada Rosehip Seed Oil. You guys know that I love the Rosehip Seed Oil. I use it on my hair, my nails, my skin, everything. It's kind of an all-in-one thing. It's also anti-inflammatory, so I love this stuff and I will continue to buy it. Another purchase that I made in 2021 that obviously I cannot set on my table here is the Luxe Bidet 120 version is the one that I got. It was a total tester for us here. A lot of people in this household were very skeptical. It was almost a joke getting a bidet, which is funny because I know that people in Europe use them all the time. But as it turns out, I really, really do love this thing. I feel like it's so much more efficient and eco-friendly and just cleaner. Also, they're way more affordable than I thought they would be. The one that I got, the Luxe 120, had tons of rave reviews and it was only like 30 bucks. So they're definitely affordable attachment pieces if it's something that you want to try out. A lot of things that I mention here, you'll see in my video on eco-conscious products, where I purchased a bunch of products that were eco-friendly in order to replace some things that I was using that were not. This brush is one of those. This is by Philips. It says Philips Eco-Friendly on it. I think it's so cool. It's made out of cornstarch. So there's no plastic. All of this is cornstarch. I'm like, if brushes can be made out of cornstarch, why aren't we doing that with all of them? But not only that, this is probably my favorite brush. So gotta definitely give this brush props. I've used it for a while. There's been no breaking down or deterioration of the cornstarch. All right, another transition that I made during that whole eco-friendly video as well is to Unpaper Towels. And I would say this is a semi-transition. We use both paper towels and unpaper towels, which is severely cut down. We tried a couple of different types of unpaper towels, but this is my personal favorite. These are by Simply Reusable. They're small, but it's kind of, to me, it's the perfect size. I'm able to easily grab one and then use it, you know, while we're eating as a napkin or for whatever I would use a paper towel for. So I do really like this brand in particular, as well as these Greenslaw reusable bamboo cotton pads. I had been using just the regular cotton rounds that you can purchase at the grocery store, and between myself and my teenage daughters, we were going through them so fast. And so I can't believe that I didn't switch to these sooner, but ever since buying these, I have not bought a single package of disposable pads. So these things are awesome. They've gone through many washes. I keep the new ones in the same box that they sent with them in here. And then as I use them, I toss them into this little bag and then they go in the wash, and they've held up great, and they're only like 13 bucks. Eventually we had to get to one that was not gonna be a good purchase, and unfortunately, also from the eco-friendly video, these reusable silicone Ziploc replacements were not it for us. Everybody hates washing them, so there's this big battle on, I don't want to use them because I don't want to have to be the one that washes them. And then they kind of turned out a little bit crinkly and just not great after the fact. Unfortunately, in 2021, my little charging round pad finally gave out. So I bought this Nanami fast charger and it has been great. Actually, I like that now my phone is standing up so I can reach over and just tap it and see what time it is or if I have any messages. And it does actually charge my phone pretty quickly. We are at a transition in our lives where my oldest daughter is about to be 16, which means that this past year in 2021, she started driving. So one of the purchases that we ended up making for only like $7 is these magnets that go on our car whenever she's driving so that people don't honk at us. So these have been actually really easy to use. They hold up well. We just slap one on each side of the car because it comes with 3, and then we put one on the back as well. And I like knowing that people out there know that it is a student driver, so hopefully they're a little more gracious with her when she's driving. These I've mentioned in other videos, and they're definitely a fan favorite. I know that a lot of you either had previously already purchased loupes or you did after we chatted, and people were really excited about it. I also am really excited about this. I purchased these because I was having a lot of sensitivity to hearing. All of a sudden, I don't know why, the kids would come home from school or we would all be chatting in the dining room, and it was driving me crazy. Everything sounded so loud. So what I like about these loops, they're so tiny, is that they don't completely block out noise. They dampen noise. And so you can purchase different decibels that you want depending on how much you want to still be able to hear. They're also really attractive. They have like just a little circular loop that shows outside of your ear. So easy to clean. I do think these were definitely worth the purchase. For many years, I lived with a couple of these rusty little pans. And so finally in 2021, I said enough is enough. And I went and I purchased something that is longer lasting and higher quality. So I got one of these Nordic Ware baking sheets. Like, look at the difference of that. We do have right now silicone coverings, essentially so we don't get sticky stuff on the pan and it makes it easier to clean. My goal is to have to clean as little as possible. So if these little silicone things are easy to just wash off and we never really have to wash our pan, that would be ideal. So we do have those and that helps a lot too, but look at the difference in these two pans. And this one is not the type of material that's supposed to rust. It's like professional grade, 100% aluminum, and so I'm definitely glad that I made this change, and I'm not even sure why this one is still in our cabinet. This is definitely something that needs to go away now. I also purchased a little bit of a lighting upgrade for myself. I'm using it right now. It's an adjustable 10-inch ring light, and it has 3 different color tones on it, which I really like, because one of the issues that I had with my professional grade big ring light is that it was always just stark white, and it felt like it was just too overbearing and too blue, too white. So this other ring light has 3 different tones. You can go super gold, you can go the blue-white color, or you can do as I do, and I use kind of the in-between beauty lighting type of tone. And so it's really great also because it folds down into a compact piece so that you can easily just slide it in a cubby or somewhere like I do. I'm not mentioning a lot of the little day in, day out things like batteries and, however, if you want a quick $5 purchase that's worth it, this mouse pad, I feel like, is that. I do like this mouse pad. It is very large. So if you're looking for a small mouse pad, this probably is not it. But in my case, I needed something that was a little bit bigger so that it would cover more of a surface area of my desk table. So for Christmas, Matt got me these Sennheiser HD 599 over-the-ear headphones. And these are really high quality, and the price does indicate that. They're like $180 headphones, but they are so soft. They're not like oppressive and pressing on my head, like Matt has some really high quality ones that are also over the ear, but it feels like this giant space machine thing to me and it puts a little too much pressure. This cancels the noise just enough, but also it has these really soft velvety ear pad covers, which is just very comfortable. And I use these things every single day. I use them when I'm editing. I use them when I'm recording audio voiceovers. So you can plug it into something larger like an amp or something like my laptop. And I do love these things. I think that they're worth it. Sometimes you just need something that's higher quality and longer lasting, and the sound on these is amazing. One thing that I don't even have here to show you because we returned it, and actually we returned it twice, is a Kitchen Mama battery-powered electric can opener. I was really excited about this. I was tired of having to honestly fiddle with our previous can opener that I had issues with, and I feel like Matt was the only one who could use it. So I was like, yes, we've got this one that's battery powered. We don't have to plug it into the wall. You can just set it on top. It'll go around, do its thing, and I can come back later to an open can. We returned the first one because we thought that after all the great reviews that maybe we had just gotten a dud. But after the second one and the same issues, I think that it's just wasn't a great product. We did go back to a manual can opener, but one that actually works for all the people of the family. I had never actually owned a meat tenderizer before this one. My mom recommended it. She said these things are amazing, way better than beating it with a mallet like she used to do. By Cookment, tons of little blades come through and stab the meat for you. After probably 3 years of using a micro-sized toaster that you had to shove the bread in, I eventually finally in 2021 went and purchased a toaster. So I purchased one that was like had the big square holes so that we could fit even Texas-sized toast in it. It's got a bagel cooker, so you can push the bagel button and it'll just cook one side of the bread for you if you want. And so this thing has been great. I'm able to leave it out on the counter a good bit of the time because it matches our white quartz countertops. The only downside to this is that yes, I did buy it on Amazon and I did not realize this at the time, but this particular version says Amazon on the other side. So I would say that that is a detracting feature. I try to keep it facing the other way so that it just looks a little more neutral, but it is there. Microphone boom arm. This one is definitely better, but I still find that it's difficult sometimes to get into the exact position that I want. You have this tightening piece that allows the stand to rotate. Sometimes it doesn't get quite as tight as I would like for it to. I do wish that it was a little bit sturdier. The other thing that I bought was an Innogear Pop Filter. This thing had tons of really good reviews, but honestly, I do not care for it. You see that? Like the way that it works is it screws into the top here, but like that doesn't work for me. Back in 2020, some of you may remember that we turned the back half of our garage into an office space for me. At the beginning of 2021, I did intense research on room dividers and systems to keep sound in and to keep temperature control, and I came across these curtains. These are really thick ceiling to floor curtains by Nicetown. Of course, whenever we installed the curtains, we also needed some sort of a track system to run them on. And I came across this track by Urban Red that had really good reviews. I'm gonna say, like, anytime you're putting a track system on the ceiling, it's going to be a painful task. You have your arms lifted, you're trying to screw things into the ceiling, and it's just not the most comfortable position on top of a ladder. But as far as all of that goes, these by Urban Red were really simple. It just requires a single screw put in a bracket, and then the track snaps into place. A lot of things happened in 2021 for us personally. Matt and I got married. We've been together for 7 years already by that point, and we got married, we went on our honeymoon in Cancun, and so we got married at the end of June, and it makes perfect sense that in March I made this purchase of the Innogear scale. I do recall we were like trying to get ourselves in shape for Cancun. I really do love this scale. You probably saw it in my recent video where I did my home tour. It looks very simple, very minimal. It has a very accurate reading, a digital reading. It was about $40. One of my pricier purchases, but the most worthwhile purchases that I made personally was this Canon M50 that I'm recording from right now. I purchased this as a professional upgrade to the camera that I had had for about a decade, which was a Canon T3i. And for a camera of this quality, it's really affordable. So almost exactly a year ago, I purchased this Quest 2 VR headset, and I don't regret it. I purchased this back at the beginning of 2021 after a year of being trapped indoors in quarantine and just feeling like I really wanted to be somewhere else. The rainy weather here in Oregon can be really oppressive. We have many long seasons where it drizzles and it gets dark. And so I wanted to feel some kind of brightness. And at the time, you couldn't really travel anywhere. We couldn't go anywhere. So I got this as kind of an escape for that, to be able to do my exercises and my meditation in a place that at least visually to me looked like it was a sunny tropical beach. And I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of this thing. It was actually really affordable. I think it's in like the 200s range or something for this and the controllers that come with it, which for this level of technology, I feel like it's just incredible. Another pandemic purchase that I made was this espresso machine. I saw great reviews on this Mr. Coffee espresso machine, so I bought it. I would say if your only goal is espresso and you're not worried about the milk frother, it's fine. I, however, like lattes, and so I do care about the steaming function. So if you watched my video on my home renovations last year, then you know that we renovated our kitchen last year. We got this really deep sink installed in its undermount, which I love. We're able to just wipe things off the side if we need to without it getting stuck in the crevices. The sink is by Kraus. The faucet is also by Kraus. We looked at tons of these. It has the regular sprayer, and it has a pull out, a magnet pull up, and I wanted to keep the party going. I wanted to do as many upgrades and updates as we possibly could in this kitchen while we were in the middle of that momentum. Take a look. Nice and soft close. The problem, and the reason that these hinges actually fall on one of the worst purchases that I made instead of one of the best, is because of this. It's so loud. Oh, it's painful. We've tried everything to adjust these hinges. All of them that are next to a wall will slam into the wall. It's the loudest thing ever. So that is it for me and my best and worst purchases of 2021. I'd love to again thank Kinder for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and join the crew. I'll chat with you next week.